Did you know that the Romans often used urine as a mouthwash? Yes, you heard it right. The Roman Empire, a civilization that held sway over millions, was a fascinating mix of the grand, the bizarre, and the downright gross. It's a world filled with gladiatorial arenas, architectural marvels, and even urine mouthwash. But let's not get too caught up in the revolting dental hygiene practices of the ancient Romans. This empire, stretching from the sun-baked deserts of Africa to the rainy highlands of Scotland, was a powerhouse of military might, political intrigue, and cultural richness. Its influence was so immense that, even today, thousands of years later, our modern world is still touched by its legacy. From our legal systems to our languages, from our architecture to our entertainment, the shadow of Rome looms large. But Rome wasn't just about grand colosseums, mighty legions, and globe-spanning roads. It was also about the everyday life of its citizens. The bustling markets, the lively banquets, the heated debates in the forum, the dramas played out in family homes and on the streets. It was a world of color, noise, smells, and tastes. A world of human experiences that were as diverse as the empire itself. The Romans were a practical lot. They were engineers and builders, politicians and generals, poets and philosophers. They were men and women who loved, laughed, cried, and dreamed, just like us. They were people who struggled with the same issues of life, death, love, and meaning that we grapple with today. So as we embark on this journey through time, let's try to see Rome not just as a distant, ancient empire, but as a vibrant, living world. A world filled with real people with real stories. Let's try to understand their hopes, their fears, their joys, and their sorrows. Let's try to see the world through their eyes, because at the end of the day, that's what history is all about. It's about people. It's about us. Now let's delve deeper into the captivating story of the Roman Empire, starting with its mythical beginning. Like many great civilizations, the Roman Empire too has a mythical origin story. One that begins with a tale of two brothers, Romulus and Remus. Born of divine parentage, the twins were sons of the war god Mars and Rhea Silvia, a Vestal virgin and daughter of the rightful king of Alba Longa, Numitor. As the story goes, their birth threatened the rule of Numitor's wicked brother Amulius, who had usurped the throne. In fear and desperation, Amulius ordered the infants to be thrown into the river Tiber. But destiny had other plans for the twins. Instead of perishing, they were washed ashore and found by a she-wolf, who, in an act of divine intervention, nurtured and protected them. The brothers grew up strong and courageous, unaware of their royal lineage. It was only after they avenged their grandfather and overthrew Amulius that they learned of their true heritage. Seizing their birthright, they decided to establish a city of their own. However, a dispute arose over the location of the new city, a disagreement that could only be settled by divine signs, or so they believed. Romulus preferred the Palatine Hill, while Remus favored the Aventine Hill. The heavens seemed to favor Romulus, who spotted 12 vultures in the sky, compared to Remus's 6. The disagreement turned bloody, and in the ensuing quarrel, Romulus killed his brother. Alone, he founded the city and named it Rome, after himself. It was the 8th day of April, 753 years before Christ. A day that marked the beginning of a civilization that would shape the world. From these humble beginnings, Rome grew into a kingdom that would evolve into a republic and then an empire, leaving an indelible mark on history. The tale of Romulus and Remus, a story of ambition, fratricide, and divine providence, serves as a potent reminder of Rome's mythical past and the complex web of tales that form the bedrock of its rich history. The Roman kingdom, a period often overlooked, laid the foundation for what was to come. The Roman kingdom, spanning from the city's mythical founding in 753 BC to its overthrow in 509 BC, was the birthplace of Rome's ancient culture, political structure, and military might. The kingdom was ruled by 7 legendary kings, each leaving their unique mark on this nascent civilization. First was Romulus, Rome's legendary founder and the first king, who established the city and its basic political structure. He was followed by Numa Pompilius, a peaceful king who introduced many religious and legal institutions still recognizable in later Roman culture. The third king, Tullus Hostilius, was a warrior king, expanding Rome's territory through conquest. Ancus Marcius, the fourth king, continued Tullus's expansion and also built Rome's first bridge, the Pons Sublicius. The fifth king, Lucius Tarquinius Priscus, introduced Rome to the splendor of Etruscan architecture and constructed the great sewer system, the Cloaca Maxima. Servius Tullius, the sixth king, is famed for his social and political reforms, including the organization of Roman citizens into classes based on wealth. The last king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, was known for his tyranny, which eventually led to his overthrow and the end of the kingdom period. The Roman kingdom's end was marked by a transition from monarchy to a republic, a pivotal point in Rome's history. The tyranny of the last king had incited the Romans to establish a new system of government, a republic where power was in the hands of the people, or at least the wealthy ones. This was a major turning point that set the stage for Rome's future expansion and the political intrigue that would come to define it. But the kingdom phase was just the beginning. The Roman Republic was yet to come. This was the period that gave birth to Rome's legendary republic, setting the stage for the glory and the turmoil that was to follow. The Roman kingdom had set the groundwork, and now it was time for the republic to take Rome to even greater heights. The Roman Republic was a period of great political evolution. This era, which spanned from the 5th century BC to the 1st century BC, was a time when Rome transitioned from a monarchy to a republic. It was a political system where power was shared between different governing bodies, and the citizens of Rome had a voice, albeit limited. The republic was structured with a complex balance of power. At the top were two consuls, elected annually by the citizens. These consuls were the head of the government and the military. Below them was the Senate, a body of lifelong members, predominantly from Rome's aristocratic class. The Senate had the power to advise the consuls and control public finances. And then there were the assemblies, made up of citizens who had the right to vote on laws and elect officials. Several significant leaders emerged during the Republic, each leaving an indelible mark on Rome's history. Lucius Quinctius Cincinnatus, a humble man called from his farm to serve as dictator during a crisis, is still celebrated today for his selfless dedication to the Republic. Then, there was Gaius Marius, who reformed the Roman army, allowing the lower-class citizens to serve, which led to a more professional and loyal military. But perhaps the most notable figure of the Republic was Julius Caesar. A military genius and charismatic leader, Caesar climbed the political ladder, becoming a consul and later a dictator. His leadership, while controversial, brought about significant reforms that benefited Rome's lower classes. However, his increasing power and disregard for republican norms led to his downfall. His assassination on the Ides of March in 44 BC is one of the most infamous events in history. Following Caesar's death, Rome plunged into chaos and civil war. The power vacuum left by Caesar's demise was filled by his adopted heir Octavian and his most trusted ally Mark Antony. However, their alliance was short-lived, and they soon turned against each other. Their rivalry culminated in the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, where Octavian emerged victorious. Octavian's victory marked the end of the Roman Republic. He took on the title Augustus, becoming the first emperor of Rome and ushering in a new era known as the Roman Empire. While the Republic had been a time of political experimentation and growth, it was also marked by social unrest, political infighting, and civil war. The Republic had allowed Rome to grow from a small city-state to a vast, powerful entity stretching across the Mediterranean. It had given a voice to the citizens of Rome and had created a system of government that, despite its flaws, had allowed for a level of political stability. But like all good things, the Republic had to come to an end, making way for the Empire. The Roman Republic, with its ideals of shared power and citizen participation, had laid the groundwork for the Roman Empire, which would come to dominate the ancient world for centuries to come. The Roman Empire, a name that still resonates with power and grandeur. This expansive empire's early days were marked with intrigue, ambition, and a significant shift in power. The transition from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire was not a simple change in political structure, but a seismic shift that would alter the course of history. Let's delve into the life of Julius Caesar, a character whose influence was pivotal during this transition. Born into the prestigious Julian clan, Caesar quickly climbed the political ladder of the Roman Republic. His ambition was as vast as the empire he would come to rule. He was a military genius, a charismatic leader, and a shrewd politician. His victories in Gaul expanded Rome's territories and his popularity among the Roman people. However, his rise to power was not without controversy. Caesar's ambition threatened the Senate, the governing body of the Roman Republic. He was seen as a potential tyrant, a threat to the established order. Despite these fears, Caesar continued his rise, eventually becoming dictator in perpetuity. The Ides of March, a date forever etched in history, marked the bloody end of Caesar's rule. Betrayed by his friend Brutus and other members of the Senate, Caesar's assassination was a desperate attempt to preserve the Republic. However, his death did not restore the Republic, it only plunged Rome into a period of civil wars. After Caesar's death, his adopted heir Octavian, later known as Augustus, emerged victorious from these internal conflicts. It was the end of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire. The empire was not born out of a peaceful transition of power, but from the ashes of a bloody civil war. Augustus, Rome's first emperor, brought stability and prosperity. He reformed the Roman government, introducing a system where he held the ultimate authority while maintaining an illusion of a republic. He skillfully managed to balance power, ensuring his absolute rule, yet keeping the Senate content. His reign marked the beginning of the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability for the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, from its inception, was a testament to the ambition and cunning of its leaders. The transition from the Republic to the Empire was a turning point in history, marking the end of one era and the beginning of another. It was a time of great leaders, monumental battles, and significant political changes. Julius Caesar, though a crucial figure, was not the only influential emperor. His successor, Augustus, took the empire to new heights. The story of the Roman Empire is not just a tale of power and conquest, but also a story of people, of ambition, of political intrigue, and ultimately, of the timeless human desire for power and control. Augustus, the first emperor of Rome, was a man of vision. He was not just a ruler but a reformer who changed the face of Rome and set the stage for the Roman Empire's golden era. His reign began in 27 BCE, marking the end of the Roman Republic's turbulent period and the start of the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. Augustus was a shrewd and pragmatic leader. He knew that in order to maintain peace and stability, he needed to ensure the loyalty of Rome's military. So he introduced a standing army, the first of its kind in Rome, which was directly loyal to him. This ensured that Rome's military might was under the control of a singular authority, reducing the chances of internal conflict. But Augustus wasn't just a military strategist. He also understood the importance of public image and perception. He worked tirelessly to present himself as the restorer of Rome, emphasizing his efforts to reform the government, increase financial stability, and beautify the city. He commissioned grand public buildings and structures, many of which still stand today, symbolizing the power and glory of the Roman Empire. Augustus also placed a great deal of importance on the law. He introduced significant legal reforms, including laws to encourage marriage and childbirth, aiming to increase the Roman population. He also made changes to the Roman calendar, introducing the Julian calendar, which is the predecessor of the Gregorian calendar we use today. But perhaps one of Augustus's most significant contributions was the establishment of the Principate system of monarchy. This was a carefully constructed political system where Augustus held several key positions of power, but also allowed for the Senate and other political bodies to maintain their traditional roles. It was a delicate balance of power that gave the appearance of a republic while ensuring the emperor's absolute control. The impact of Augustus's reign was profound and far-reaching. He not only brought stability and prosperity to Rome but also laid the foundation for the empire's future growth. His reforms and policies were continued by his successors, ensuring the longevity of the empire. Despite the loss of their visionary leader in 14 CE, the Roman Empire didn't falter. It continued to grow and flourish, extending its influence across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Augustus had set the stage for the empire's golden era, which was carried on by other remarkable leaders. One such leader was Constantine, who would come to power in the early 4th century CE. He was a man of conviction and faith, and his reign would bring about another significant turning point in Rome's history. But that's a story for another time. The empire continued to flourish even after Augustus, with emperors like Constantine making a significant impact. So, as we delve further into the intricate tapestry of the Roman Empire's history, let's remember the vision of Augustus, for it was his foresight and innovation that set the course for Rome's golden age. Constantine, an emperor remembered for a major shift in Rome's religious landscape. Enter Constantine the Great, the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. His reign, beginning in the early 4th century, was one of the most influential periods in the annals of Roman history. Yet it was his religious transformation that truly set him apart. Constantine's embrace of Christianity was not a sudden overnight change. Rather, it was a gradual journey that began with a vision. Legend has it that, on the eve of a crucial battle, Constantine saw a cross in the sky, accompanied by the words, "In this sign, you will conquer." This vision led to his victory in the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, and marked the beginning of his path towards Christianity. As emperor, Constantine's newfound faith was reflected in his policies. He granted Christians the freedom to practice their religion without fear of persecution, a significant departure from previous emperors who saw Christianity as a threat to traditional Roman beliefs. This decree, known as the Edict of Milan, laid the groundwork for Christianity to become the dominant religion in the Roman Empire. But Constantine's influence extended beyond just toleration. He actively promoted Christianity, building grand churches and even relocating the capital of the empire to Byzantium, later renamed Constantinople, in a region where Christianity was more prevalent. This move symbolically and practically shifted the empire's center of gravity towards the Christian East. Yet, for all his efforts, Constantine's conversion did not make Rome a Christian empire overnight. Many Romans still clung to their traditional gods, and it would be decades before Christianity became the empire's official religion. But the seeds of change were sown, and they would grow into a religious transformation that would shape the course of history. Constantine's reign marked a turning point in Rome's history, but it also marked the beginning of the end. Despite his efforts to strengthen the empire through religious unity, the strains of running such a vast territory were showing, setting the stage for the eventual fall of the Roman Empire. But that's a tale for another time. All empires must fall, and the Roman Empire was no exception. This might seem like a hard truth, but it's an undeniable part of history. Now let's delve into the decline of this once magnificent empire. By the 3rd century, the Roman Empire was facing a multitude of problems. It was overextended and under pressure, both from internal issues and external threats. The empire, once unified, was gradually divided into 2 distinct halves: the Western Roman Empire, with Rome as its capital, and the Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, with its capital in Constantinople. This division wasn't arbitrary. It was a strategic move by Emperor Diocletian to make the empire more manageable. The idea was to have 2 emperors, or Augusti, each ruling one half of the empire, with a Caesar under each as a successor. This was known as the Tetrarchy. But this system didn't end up working as smoothly as Diocletian had hoped. Power struggles ensued, leading to civil wars that weakened the empire further. Meanwhile, the Western Roman Empire was crumbling under the weight of economic crises, political corruption, and incessant invasions by Germanic tribes. The situation worsened when the Visigoths, one of these tribes, sacked Rome in the year 410. This event sent shockwaves through the empire, marking a clear beginning of the end. Finally, in the year 476, the last Roman emperor in the West, Romulus Augustulus, was overthrown by the Germanic king Odoacer. The Western Roman Empire had officially fallen. The Eastern Roman Empire, on the other hand, managed to survive for another 1,000 years. It preserved much of the Roman law and culture, serving as a bridge between the ancient and medieval worlds. And thus ended the saga of the Roman Empire, leaving its mark on history forever. Its fall marked the end of ancient history and the beginning of the Middle Ages in Europe. The Roman Empire might have fallen, but its legacy continues to shape the world we live in today. The Roman Empire, a name etched in the annals of history. Its tale spans centuries, from the mythic origins of Rome, founded by the twins Romulus and Remus, to its division into the Eastern and Western empires. We've journeyed through this grand narrative, witnessing the rise and fall of one of the world's most powerful civilizations. We've delved into the era of the Roman kingdom, exploring the foundations of what would become a vast empire. We then transitioned into the Roman Republic, a period marked by political unrest, social change, and the ascent of notable figures like Julius Caesar, whose life and death left an indelible mark on the empire's story. The Roman Empire, in all its glory and might, was our next focus. We saw its expansion and the peace brought about by the Pax Romana, along with the challenges and crises that rocked its stability. The reign of Augustus, the first Roman emperor, was a significant highlight, setting the tone for the empire's future. We dove into the transformative influence of Constantine, the emperor who led the empire to embrace Christianity, permanently altering the religious landscape of the Western world. Finally, we witnessed the fall of the Roman Empire, a complex series of events that led to the end of an era. But the story of Rome, like all history, is not a closed book. Its influence lives on in our laws, our architecture, our culture. It's a testament to the resilience of human ambition, a reminder of our capacity for greatness and our vulnerability to downfall. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through the Roman Empire with us. If you're intrigued by the echoes of the past and want to explore more, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Perspective. Our mission is to bring history to life, one story at a time. Stay tuned for our next journey into history, where we unravel the mysteries of the ancient Egyptian civilization.